Hi, AT from CNC at Home. We did the birdhouse project, we got it all cut out. Now it's time to get it glued together. I have it stained, I have some pieces pre-glued on. Let's go over to the birdhouse and take a look at that. Now that we have the birdhouse all cut out and pre-assembled, the next step is going to be to do the final glue. I'm just going to use regular old wood glue and a brush to get that put on there. This was listed as a 3D puzzle, and it's not a difficult puzzle. There are some tricks to put this together correctly, and one way to make sure that this gets glued up quickly is to do this in an efficient way. I've already pre-glued some of the stuff on. This is just surface mount, so the frames on the windows, I've got those on there, and the details here on the porch, I have those on there as well. I'm still debating on these roof pieces. If I do not glue them on, at least one of them, then there's room for easy clean out for the birdhouse part, which is this top section. To assemble this efficiently, I'm going to pull this apart in reverse order and kind of explain how this all goes together. There are tabs and slots for some of this. Some of them are just finger joints. We'll see that here. This is just held in with finger joints, so that can go on that way. Something such as the back piece is also held on mainly with finger joints, but there's also some tab construction up on the top. This piece, though, can easily just come off. So we'll set that aside. That'll come on later. The rest of this is pretty much tab and slot construction. The trick is to put these together in a way that you can get at everything easily. So for instance, this middle piece needs to go on earlier rather than later. There's not really a good way to kind of cram it in there. It's all tabs on the sides, the bottom, and the top. So to get that on there, you really need to put this top piece onto all the rest of this. So let's just pull that off. We'll set that back here. I'm going to use this base plate kind of part way through just to kind of set all of this on. So it's going to come off next. And we'll just set that off to the side as well. These pieces are all held together either with, such as this front piece, is held to the side pieces with tabs or finger joints. So that's going to come off. And then these two pieces, the side pieces, go on this middle piece. And again, those are also slot and tab. We'll pull those off. So this is the piece that we start with. Then we'll glue on the side pieces. The porch piece, we'll set that onto the base, get that glued on, and essentially put this back together in the reverse order from which I took it apart. That's an easy way to do this versus just trying to slap it all together haphazard. Have a nice plan of attack so that this can go together smoothly. I'll go ahead and start the gluing process. I want to get this all done at one time so I don't have to stop in the middle. So let's get gluing. Since this process is pretty straightforward, I'll probably slip this into a kind of a fast motion thing, as gluing is pretty straightforward. We put a little bit of glue on our fingers where the surfaces are going to match up. We'll get the other side so we can do both of these. We don't need a ton of glue. This is regular carpenter's glue for wood. And it has really good holding strength. and we don't need a ton of holding strength for this project. And we'll just slide this piece on. Slide this piece on. The friction fit on this is pretty good, so I'm not going to need to use any clamps. One thing I did find with this particular project is the picture for this does not match how it actually burns out. I'll throw the picture up there, but it has to do with this front porch piece. On the picture, it's put on 180 degrees around so that this doorway lines up with that doorway. But this particular pinhole where this goes in is in the wrong spot for that. So it has to go together this way. Not a major deal. It's just different from how they're showing it. The next piece is then going to be the back. So we'll spin this around. Here's our back piece. No, it's not the back piece, it's the top piece. It's going to go on like this. So let's get these surfaces glued up, and then we'll slide this top piece on. Now we're going to put the back piece on, as it's mainly these finger joints and these slots. So I'll just get some glue in here on the flat surfaces, and then we'll get this back piece attached. Might be easier if I just rotate this. Those are tabs, so I don't need to put glue on those. I do need to get glue on these flat areas. That's where we're going to have our contact. If you do have a little bit of extra glue, now's the time to wipe it away. If you have to, this particular glue, before it sets up, is water soluble, and so I could wash some of this if I really needed to, if there was too much. The back looks like it's on pretty well. The next piece is a little tricky in that there's really nothing to hold it square. So it just has these finger joints, and then it can wobble forwards and back. What I'll need to do then is attach this roof piece fairly quickly so that that can hold it square. This other roof piece, as I'd mentioned, I'm just going to leave unglued. If I really needed this to be glued on solid, I could put glue on these flat areas as well. This should be plenty of glue to hold it together. Let that sit for just a second while we get some glue for the roof piece. So this glue will just come across on this flat area, and this flat area, this flat area. Put a little pressure on that, and that should hold it just fine. I'll just get a little bit of this extra glue cleaned up. To help hold this together, I'll go ahead and put on this other roof piece, but I will not glue this one. Just put this on to help hold everything in place. All right, we have our birdhouse all glued up. Now we just need to let it sit and dry. Once it's dry, Then we can decide if we're going to do anything more to it. I've already stained it. You can see a little color difference. This is a golden oak, the main part of it, and then this is a barn red stain that I had. So we've got the railing stained that same way. I did have to glue these pieces in and this on, as I mentioned earlier, as well as the detail around the doors and windows. This should be a nice birdhouse. This is all done. If you like this video, think about giving it a thumbs up. That really helps out. If you like the content of our channel, think about subscribing. Enjoy doing your CNC at home projects.
Oops.